50여년 동안 전심전력을 다해 국내외의 두의 사상과 하나님주의를 중심한 이념운동을 토대로 통일의 기반을 조성해왔습니다. 우리 다 같이 참사랑의 하나님주의로 우리의 가치관을 정립하고 국민 사상 무장의 총궐기 합시다.
Amid the rivalry between the powers surrounding the Korean peninsula and the North Korean nuclear crisis, still we can take the peaceful path of unification under the true values that Dr. and Mrs. Moon have championed. The path of interdependence, mutual prosperity and universal values. The Peace Road project has highlighted the way. It is a great initiative to foster reconciliation. The idea to build a fifth UN office in Korea is stimulating many to consider Korean unification. And an active movement to prepare for the era of a unified Korea is gaining momentum. A vision lighting this era with rays of genuine hope. The goal of the work Dr. Moon is leading is to see the two Koreas as one nation again.
섭리의 완성 시대에 있어서 이 민족이 나가야 할 길은 무엇이겠습니까? 남북 통일 좋습니다. 그러나 이 민족이 해야 될 것은 하늘 부모님을 모시는 길이 우선입니다. 이 길만이 영전하신 하늘 부모님을 모신 우리 인류가 영전하는 길임을 명심하시며 나와 함께 하늘 부모님을 모신 인류 한 가족 평화 세계를 이뤄 나가 주시기를 간구하며 축원하는 바입니다.
Hope for the realization of a heavenly unified world. In a time of an unfinished war, we cannot fully enjoy today. But like those who came together to protect Korea 70 years ago, peace-loving citizens from around the world are coming together now, uniting and sharing for the establishment of a heavenly unified Korea. The final walls of ideological division must come down. The nation of Korea that has been blessed by God never takes for granted the grace that it received. A unified Korea will bring hope for a unified world. We are grateful for this grace and will never forget those who fought on our behalf. They will be forever remembered in history. This day shall be remembered as a great day. Today, Korea is taking a big step forward to the realization of a peaceful, unified world.
A moving tribute to what happened 70 years ago. Not a forgotten war, but forever remembered. Father and Mother Moon are personally involved in thanking the Korean War veterans and those who offered aid and military supplies to Korea, because on the day that Father Moon was to be executed, the day before, the UN forces bombed the Hungnam prison where he had been for 2 years and 8 months. One day later, Father Moon would not have been alive today and wouldn't have been able to carry on his worldwide ministry. So it's very personal for Father and Mother Moon both. Our first speaker is General Tersak Maron. He graduated from Chula Chom Klao Royal Military Academy in Thailand in the year of 1960. He served in the Royal Thai Army as a commander in many combat units, including the UN forces in the Korean the Vietnam War and served along the Thai border protecting his nation before retiring as a four-star general. He still serves as a special aide-de-camp to His Majesty, the King of Thailand. General Morone is the president of the Lions Club of Thailand, the president of the Universal Peace Federation of Thailand, and appointed recently as the global vice president of Sun Moon University in Korea. Please welcome, for his remarks, General Tersak Marone.
Honorable heads of state, prime ministers, first lady, distinguished participants from 150 nations and on sectors of the society. As one of the Korean War veterans, I feel honored to share my vision and experience as Thai military officer to serve as the UN peacekeeping force in South Korea. On June 24, 1950, North Korean forces invaded South Korea and were able to seize Seoul, the capital of South Korea. And within 3 days, South Korea had to retreat south to Busan, the southernmost part of the Korean peninsula. The United Nations has announced support for the armed forces from various free world countries in order to join the fight with the communist forces of North Korea to protect freedom and the freedom of South Korea. Thailand was the first country to accept a volunteer to send combat forces to join the United Nations. By then, Prime Minister Trilmachan Pibut Songkram, by sending combat forces from the Royal Thai Army, Navy, and Air Force, along with sending rice to alleviate the suffering of South Korean citizens as well. The Royal Thai soldiers belong to the United Nations forces, attached to and went up to battle together with the 2nd Infantry Division, U.S. Army, fought bravely and steadily in many battlefields. The place was recognized by the United Nations forces as the battle at Pork Chop Hill over the 38th North Parallel near Pyongyang, the capital of North Korea. After many units have attacked unsuccessfully, and the Thai soldiers were able to attack and successfully seize this important terrain in the battle, which was a high critical terrain. This victory brought prestige to the Royal Thai soldier in the Korean battlefield. The commander of the 8th U.S. Army, which was the command unit of the UN forces, gave the title to the Royal Thai military force, Little Tiger. That means Thai soldier, small frame body, but fight like tiger. The Korean War was fierce and relentless. The battle has lasted for 3 years. Soldiers lost their lives, and millions of South Korean citizens have lost valuable assets. admit the loss and misery. A ceasefire was finally signed. Later, a border between North and South Korea was established. When the boundary line was defined,
Well, I got something that's going to bless
then
you. It's called
the demilitarized zone, no man land, was known as the boundary line. A distance of 1 kilometer wide on each side, together with a 2-kilometer wide strip along the boundary line. The Korean War ended. Forces of both sides cannot either, that there is no truth. So, these two countries can go to war at any time without having to declare war. Freedom is not free. Our side has lost millions of lives of South Korean soldiers and citizens. Many became immigrants, refugees, and separated from their family. Relatives became homeless, and there was lack of food, medicine, and have terribly suffered. Despite having ceasefire agreement, war is waiting to happen at any time. For another 22 years, the Royal Thai military force remain as a United Nations forces in South Korea. It was the only remaining nation. We were first in and last out. During that time, we fostered more than 40 orphans, Korean boys and girls, until the Thai soldiers withdrew from Korea in 1972. These children continued their education, and some of them even proudly got their doctorate degrees. Because when we returned to visit Korean parliament at Uncheonni village, which served as the base camp for Royal Thai military force, they came to welcome us and chat happily together with us. Finally, I would like to acknowledge the founder of Universal Peace Federation, Dr. Hak Cha Han Moon, who always invests herself for vision, for promoting peace and unity among the people of the world and within our nation. Thank you. สวัสดีครับ
Thank you, General Tersak Maron. My respect for you grows day by day the more I understand how much you have lived for and sacrificed in so many areas. I love what you said. The Thai soldiers fight like a tiger. Thank you. Our second speaker is Dr. Adrian Buzo. He is a former wish you all very well and safe and successful conference. Thank you. Thank you, Dr. Adrian Bouzeau, for your insights and experience in helping us to remember that it takes skill and patience and a lot of planning in order for peace processes anywhere in the world to be fruitful. We'd now like to take a short break and watch two kind of testimonial videos of Korean War veterans themselves. One is from New Zealand and another veteran is from the Philippines. Please enjoy.
Good morning, Anayongi Hesio. My name is Ronald McMillan. I'm 88 years of age. I served in the I was in the Royal New Zealand Navy from 1950 to 1958. I served in Korea in 1952-53. Good morning, Anayongi Hesio. My name is Ronald McMillan. I'm 88 years of age. My thoughts of Korea, cold, very, very cold. I served in the I was in the Royal New Zealand Navy from 1950 to 1958. I served in Korea in 1952-53. Good morning, Anayongi Hesio. My name is Ronald McMillan. I'm 88 years of age. My thoughts of Korea. But I haven't been for a few years because can't walk too far now, so that's it. And we have always had a lot to do with the Koreans here. Before the lockdown, we met them at meetings every few weeks and went to luncheons with them and to different we went to church groups with them and stuff like that. But since the lockdown, and of course our Korean Veterans Association finished, no longer, so we don't see much of them at all. I've been in touch with Diane Lee quite often. I've known her for a long time. I used to know her when she was in Hamilton, so I've known her. And Sammy rings me up now and again. She just lives close to me. That's right.
I am Major Max Yang, a celebrity soldier of three major wars: the World War II, the Korean War, and the Vietnam War. 70 years ago, on September 15, 1950, when I was 27 years old, I left behind my wife Norma of just 2 years and a 1-year-old baby boy, Walter, to sit for Busan. I was the tank commander of the 10th Battalion Combatant of the Philippine Expeditionary Force of Korea. Two major battles during our stay in Korea. The Battle of Gordon, 1-year-old, in November 1950, barely 2 months since we arrived in Korea, and the Battle of Yeongdo on April 1961. We victoriously fought these battles amid the hardest weather of cold winter. Given that Philippines has no winter, it was the first time we fought all that weather. Sad to say, 112 of our brothers were killed, 229 wounded, 41 taken prisoners of war, and 60 was missing. Of that group of Philippine soldiers also action in after 1951. Now in 2020, of the 12 of us that are still to be living. I am now 98 years old. We, the Korean War veterans, bore the burden of war, but we seek peace, knowing that peace is the climate of freedom, and freedom is at stake. It is paid for with blood of fighting men and stained with the tears of loved ones left behind. Let us learn the lessons of history of the Korean War and its aftermath. That is only through taking this path of knowledge, peace, and sacrificing for it that freedom, prosperity, and a stronger society with the tears of loved ones left behind. Let us learn the lessons of history of the Korean War and its aftermath. That is only through taking this path of knowledge, peace, and sacrificing for it that freedom, prosperity, and a stronger society with the tears of loved ones left behind. Let us learn the lessons of history of the Korean War and its aftermath. That is only through taking this path of knowledge, peace, and sacrificing for it that freedom, prosperity, and a stronger society with the tears of loved ones left behind. Let us learn the lessons of history of the Korean War and its aftermath. That is only through taking this path of knowledge, peace, and sacrificing for it that freedom, prosperity, and a stronger society with the tears of loved ones left behind. Let us learn the lessons of history of the Korean War and its aftermath. That is only through taking this path of knowledge, peace, and sacrificing for it that freedom, prosperity, and a stronger society with the tears of loved ones left behind. Let us learn the lessons of history of the Korean War and its aftermath. That is only through taking this path of knowledge, peace, and sacrificing for it that freedom, prosperity, and a stronger society with the tears of loved ones left behind. Let us learn the lessons of history
Please, let me share that prior to becoming a member of the executive branch of our government, I was long part of the noble profession of arms and the retired Police General Veterans Affairs and Welfare Committee, which underscored on the value that must be linked to our war veterans. As part of the military and police force, I was well aware of the significance of the use of force to attain and maintain peace and order in a given jurisdiction. In fact, history even teaches us that wars were fought with the best weapons the country could ever take a hold of. But as one of those sent to the front line in the most critical part of our country, I learned that every fight, every war aims only one thing, and that is peace. While the sold-out forgotten war involved only a 3-year military action between the North and South Korea with reinforcement from the Soviet Union at one hand and the American forces at the other, its impact somehow continues to this date as no peace between the parties was forged. Ergo, making it 70th year 2020, with the Korean Peninsula still divided today. When I became a part of the legislative and now a local chief executive, I gained better understanding of the alternatives of the traditional war for the use of force. While I do not mean to downplay the need for a strong military force, I wish to accentuate on Pacific mode, especially when dealing with the conflict between or among states. As the United Nations Charter, to which most countries, including the Republic of Korea, adhere and declares international disputes must be resolved by peaceful means, in a manner that international peace and security and justice are not endangered. While I acknowledge that peaceful reunification of the two Koreas would entail arduous ramifications to the social, political, geopolitical, and economic spheres, I have confidence that with clean intention and backed up by careful consideration, the reunification's advantages will outweigh the travails. Further, may this concept of reunification be one that is encompassing. To cite President Moon Jae-in talking about a new concept of reunification, it shall be a situation where everyone living in the Korean Peninsula is safe, not only from war, but is also safe from contagious diseases, environmental problems, terrorism, etc. And may pursue happiness and good life. May it be one which the renowned philosopher Plato proposed as the best, rational, and righteous political order, one that leads to a harmonious unity of society, where each of the parts flourishes, but not at the expense of the others. The Korean War resulted in millions of casualties, but its forces had ended 67 years ago. If there could be ceasefire 3 years after, then there are more reasons for the possibility of peace talks, Pacific talks 70 years later after. Albeit, my knowledge of the Korean War and the complexities of the consequences is insufficient, I am certain that when a war is ended, genuine peace should begin. A Korean War, although forgotten or ignored, has long been running. Perhaps it is high time to finally and sincerely put an end to it, just as what Germany did. I knew the process will not be easy. Nonetheless, it will be worth it. From this end, I convey that the local government for which I have the privilege to lead and advocate is an order of our Constitution proclaims. We abide by the policy of peace, equality, justice, freedom, cooperation, and amity of all nations. May this series of webinars and international leadership conferences lead to the seemingly distant, at least at the present, reunification of the Korean Peninsula. May the succeeding year mark a different observance of the anniversary of the Korean War, where the parties will then be truly at peace and united. My highest regards, John. Good day.
Thank you, the Honorable General Batawi, for your optimism and hope. Our fourth and final speaker is Dr. Nasir Hamzar Mohammed. He is the chairman of the Karang Kraf Media Group in Malaysia. After more than 40 years of operation, this media house is now well known as one of the major media players in that country. Apart from making a name as a successful entrepreneur, he is also active in doing charity work, which focuses on helping single mothers and orphans in the peninsular Malaysia. Let's welcome Dr. Dato Nasir.
Good afternoon, Mr. Chairman, Dr. Robert S. Kito, Chairman of the Education Commission, UPF Asia Pacific, honorable speakers, ladies and gentlemen, Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. The unification of the Korean Peninsula is always possible, provided always that both North and South Korea is always sincere, honest, and committed. I stress the word sincere, honest, and committed. This is very important element in any discussion for unification or peaceful talks or whatever it may be. Both sides must sacrifice whatever pride they have. Sometimes in negotiations, one must be willing to forego some of the most sacred things that whoever may have. We cannot win all and we cannot lose all in any negotiation. Of the most, North and South Korea belong to one and same family and ethnic group. They share almost everything in similarities. They speak same language, same culture, same family name, same food, and same behavior. The only thing that differ is ideology, which can be adjusted. The question now is how sincere both sides wanted unification. How honest are both in wanting unification, and how committed are both for unification. Sincerity is something that is very difficult to quantify, so it takes a lot of guts and effort to prove both are sincere. Honesty is equally difficult to quantify, as in sincerity, So again, a lot of effort need to be taken. Commitment is something that both can be quantified. How committed are both sides in wanting to see the unification if both sides are really committed for unification, then the road to unification is much more easier to achieve. Moving forward, we take from the above scenario what takes to move the unification process. We must identify who should make a move toward unification, how to start unification process. Do you need a third party to represent both sides on the negotiation table? The answer for number 1 and 2, the process is already ongoing now. The answer for number 3 is very important. As to who should be the moderator is super important. Normally, in any negotiation, the moderator or the middleman must be acceptable and welcome by both sides. Otherwise, it will fail. The moderator must not be seen to favor only to one side, but it must be favorable to both sides. We must make sure the moderator is comfortable for both sides. As in the current unification process, the United States of America is seen to be more favorable to the South than the North. And US is not seen to be the best moderator for the North. That is why the negotiation process has failed many, many times. It is seen as though US is more interested in exerting more influence in the Korean Peninsula than the unification process itself. It is also seen that US is not that friendly to the North. That is why, in order to see both sides must look into who should be the best moderator, who is acceptable and comfortable to both. A country or organization who is seen and is really sincere, honest, and committed to see the unification a reality. The moderator must be respected by both. I think this is the tall order for all of us to look into who should represent both in the unification process. The moderator is as much as important as the parties involved in the unification negotiation. Recently, what happened to Armenia and Azerbaijan is a classic example as to how important is the moderator to any negotiation. No matter who gets more or who gets less, but the outcome that matter in the least for now is the region is peaceful. People say if you want peace, you prepare for war, but no war can actually bring peace. Peace is always achieved through negotiations. We have seen so many wars being fought during our lifetime, and none that has brought peace other than through negotiation. War only brings destructions and hardship. So let us find ways and means to stop all the wars and hatred. Let us build this world based on love, care, and humanity. UPF worked for a peaceful reunification of Korean Peninsula and harmonious relations among the nations of Southeast Asia is laudable. The recent virtual Rally of Hope held last week participated by world leaders and more than 200 million viewers worldwide set a clear signal for peaceful reunification of the two Koreas. I appeal for all to support the work for the peaceful reunification of the divided peninsula. I would like to end this presentation with a phrase by Prophet Muhammad. He says, "You will not enter paradise until you believe. You will not believe until you love one another. And you will not love one another until you promote peace among you." Thank you.
Excellent, excellent. Dr. Nasir, thank you so much for your insights. I think your second career needs to be in peacekeeping. You've done very well in media and as a philanthropist, and we look forward to your future involvement.
No problem. If I get the chance, I will.
Sincerity, honesty, and commitment. Thank you. Now we have a chance for some questions and answers. We have limited time, but I would like to invite Dr. Venus Augustine. He is the president of the International Peace Leadership College in the Philippines, to moderate our question and answer session. Dr. Venus Augustine, we are at your
Thank you so much.
beckoning.
Thank you so much, and good afternoon, everyone. This is Litorri. President Hori and Dang Lee. So there are questions actually, but due to the time limits, I would like to immediately read. This is a questions that will address to any of the speaker. What could be the challenge to the people and the government of both countries to work on if the reunification is to be successful?
Okay.
Any resource speaker?
Maybe can you start with
spotlight the speakers that are here? Start with who, please?
Any resource speaker, yeah, can answer.
it's Dato Nasir from Malaysia.
Okay. Dr. Nasir, please read the question one more time, and this will be for you.
Okay, so what could be the challenges to the people and the government of both countries to work on it if the reunification is to be successful?
From Malaysia.
Okay, I think it is simple. Like what I during my presentation just now.
Okay, so
The only
what could be
utmost
the
thing is
challenges to the
sincerity,
people
honesty, and
and the
commitment.
government of
If both
both
sides are
countries
committed
to work on
to the
it
reunification,
if
then it
the
will happen.
reunification
But if both
is to
sides
be
or
successful?
only one side is committed, it will never happen. So the most important thing is commitment, honesty, and sincerity. Then everything will be in order. The system will be there. The people are willing to reunify. Both sides are willing to unify. Only that the engine, the commitment from both government, the sincerity, the honesty, and the commitment. That's all.
Thank you so much. That question is coming from
Yes. People are willing to. In fact, I have one question here from Malaysia. Can I answer as it is? From both government. Okay. The question is like this. Malaysia has cordial relations with both South and North Korea. What can Malaysia do to promote reconciliation and reunification of Korea?
Okay, that's connected to the question.
Sorry? Okay.
Go ahead.
Okay, in my presentation just now, I quote, the moderator is very, very important. And this is Asian problem. And it's more of a family problem, the North and the South. So, the best moderator, the best people who can solve this problem is Asian. It must come from Asia. So I believe that be it Malaysia or whichever country in Asia that can become the moderator, I think it will be much better. Because I think United States has failed to do what they're supposed to do. And I think Trump also met Kim Jong-un a few times, and which failed. And I think everybody knows that it's really just a holiday, okay, to Vietnam, to Singapore, and also a short visit to the demilitarized zone. And so this is something that we need. People either from Malaysia or from Asia, inshallah, we can deliver the reunification to this peninsula.
Thank you so much, Honorable Dato Nazir. One more questions, still okay?
May I add something?
Oh, go ahead, Honorable Iknat.
Yeah, thank you so much, Dr. Venus. So, yes, I also agreed with Dato Nasir Hamza from Malaysia that the reunification between two divided Korea is possible. The question was asked, what are the challenges? I think some of our speakers also already answered those questions. So one of the main challenge is with the two system and two different ideologies, because South Korea is driven by the ideology of democracy and free market, liberty, and North Korea is guided by different ideology. So that's why I think we really need to give them the alternative where the both Korea can come. In this regard, our founder, Dr. Sun Myung Moon and Dr. Hak Jahan Moon, actually they proposed the head-wing ideology as a common ideology for both Korea to unite. And also I've been to both Koreas and also especially North Korea more than 2 times, and we could clearly see that the aspiration of people is actually they really wanted to unite as a one. And then so one of the colleague at our delegation, Honorable Chaya Sharma from Nepal, she will be speaking at the second session. So I hope she will highlight some of the aspect of this question. However, I think the peaceful reunification is possible. Again, like what Sir Dato Nasir said, that if the both side is sincere, honest, to sit down in dialogue and negotiation, then reunification will achieve. And reunification will not achieve, or even though achieved, will not sustain through war. It should be only through peaceful negotiation and peaceful dialogue. So this is also the stand of UPF, and UPF has been supporting a lot for the peaceful dialogue and negotiation. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Honorable Iknat.
Can I add on Mr. Dakal's comments?
Sir, please.
Okay. I agree with what Mr. Dakal said, but I think now with the present world, even if you see the Germans, the East and West, they can reunify. So, and with the world, the changing world now, everything is no borders. Yeah? So, and the most important is the people of both countries, even though they have different ideologies, but they still wanted to reunify. Because the most important thing here is blood is thicker than water. So this is more of a family relationship, not just about ideology, but about family, and about culture, about a lot of similarities they share. So I don't see reasons that reunification can fail, provided, like what I said earlier, the commitment, the sincerity, and the honesty must be there.
Thank you so much, Dato Nazir, for that input. Still possible questions?
Maybe any comment from President Hori, Dr. Benas? Maybe President Hori also here. He might wanted to make some additional
Yes,
comment.
President Hori, please.
Yes. Yes. The both people of both nations wants reunification. Yeah, it's truly they want. Then the thing is the government. So North Korea government wants to survive, but also the government and the people of North Korea, it's connected because they need to be sorry. Democratized. Otherwise, it's difficult. Both of people wants to be united, but otherwise, democratized. The North people cannot reach even to South people of South. So that's last will be that point will be the last point of bottleneck to be reunified Korea. So open the gate will be needed. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, President Hori. One last question. This is from YouTube, from Uncle Randall. This can be answered to any the resource speaker or to anyone. How would China react to a unified Korea on its border? Would any moderator nation need to be not influenced by China? How would China react to a unified Korea on its border? Would any moderator nation need to be not influenced by China?
I can answer, no problem.
Okay, Dato Nazir, please.
Sir.
Okay, China, I think in this as respect, China is not so much a factor because China is opportunist. Now they are expanding their power base in the region. So whoever, say for example, if reunification happens, they can exert their influence in both countries or in one unified country, that is Korea, and they can do more business. And they have been doing, in fact, now they have been controlling not only Asia, but also Africa. And now also, if you see, US also are struggling to fight with them in terms of business, communication, technologies. They are much, much advanced than the US. In fact, in terms of, say, for example, communication, the 5G, they are more advanced than the US. So I think if Korea is unified, the South now is one of the great economies of the world already. So if they unify, they can be much, much greater combined with the other, say like Japan. Japan is one of the great economies of Asia. So Asia will be very, very strong. The real tiger will be coming out of Asia if the unification really happen with the resources in the north, untapped resources. So I think that will be no problem for both countries to unify. Thank you.
Thank you. Yes.
We need to draw. Honorable Eknath, please go ahead.
Honorable Eknath. Yeah, I think I don't see any reason that China would be unhappy by the reunited Korea. Now, of course, the role of 6 party talk nations are very crucial. That is including China and Japan and Russia and US. I think the world powers should come in certain common understanding. And already South Korea is one of the great trade partner of China. And also if both Korea can be united, so the Korean economy will be even more bigger. There are a lot of economic resources in South Korea and also human resources in North Korea. And also in terms of population also, if they are united, will be almost 60 to 70 million population. I agree with Sir Dato that that new actually power will emerge and that will make also balance in our Asian economy and also in the world, especially as even our founder has declared the era of Asia Pacific Rim civilization. I think that will really realize and the era of truly Asia will emerge. So that's why I think China and any nations I think would be happy if the Korea can be united and yeah. So thank you so much. I conclude here.
Thank you. Thank you, Dr. Venus Augustine, and thank you to the speakers. Yeah.
Thank you so much. Yeah, I think there's still some questions, but I can just throw this to later. Okay. Thank you so much.
We need to close it now. Okay, again, thank you for our distinguished panelists and for the participants from more than 28 different nations. This has been a rich and very rewarding time together where we all kind of think and hope and pray again for really the last vestige of this kind of Cold War division of one nation for our really homeland of the founders of the UPF, that it can be reunified in a meaningful and productive way. I would like to just make one announcement. This next session 2, will start at 2 p.m. Bangkok time. That is in about 1 hour and 15 minutes from now. The theme will be the same. Their focus will be on the second part, will be a unified world of peace. Again, thanks to everyone to make this a successful conference together.
Dr. Kittel, just before you conclude, if I may just take 30 seconds.
Please.
Because I saw here in the screen a lot of lawmakers from Nepal. Actually, they are joining with us from various parties, from Nepali Congress, from Socialist Party, and also from Communist Party. So I just wanted to recognize all of them, Honorable Chinkaji Shrestha, Honorable Dhanraj Gurung, Honorable Chaya Sharma, Honorable Gita Ranaji, Honorable Milanji, and actually many more. So they are the one who make Nepal's constitution. So I am very encouraged by their participation. And of course, thanks all the participants from throughout Asia Pacific for joining this ILC. Thank you so much. Dr. Kittel, please.
Okay, this draw to conclude the first session of the IPLC program, and we look forward to seeing you in a little over an hour at our second session. It will be the same way in which you logged on this time. You will be able to log on again and join us in 1 hour and 15 minutes. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you.
What about Professor Holly?
UPF had its inaugural assembly on September 12, 2005, at the Lincoln Center in New York City. Reverend Sun Myung Moon delivered the keynote address.
In closing, I ask you to devote your best efforts for the development and the success of the Universal Peace Federation. Thank you. Thank you.
After UPF was founded, there was a series of world tours where the message of UPF was taken literally to every corner of the world.
That it is time for all nations and religions to break down their barriers. Through this, the era of one family under God will arrive and last forever.
UPF is God's cherished hope. The founders spoke repeatedly of an international peace highway connecting the world from Santiago, Chile to London, across the Bering Strait, what has come to be known as the Peace Road, and a vision for a renewed United Nations. UPF emerged on the foundation of decades of programs initiated by its founders and carried out in all parts of the world. Its growth and development over the past 15 years has been dramatic, if not miraculous, owing in large part to the work of tens of thousands of ambassadors for peace, peace activists, and volunteers who draw from all nationalities, religions, ethnicities, cultures, and traditions, bound together by a vision of peace, a vision of humanity as one global family under one God. The range of programs over the years has been both broad and expansive, from character education to strengthening the family, from conflict prevention to conflict resolution, from poverty reduction to environmental stewardship, from interfaith dialogue to youth service initiatives, from support of the United Nations to partnerships with the African Union, and a wide range of international organizations and NGOs.